Good afternoon, and welcome to Caffeine News. My name is Matthew, and I'm here to just provide some latest fluid updates to the meeting between Trump, Zelensky, NATO members, and the EU as a whole that took place earlier today, August 18th. And today is just before 4 p.m. local time, which is Mountain Standard Time. So let's get right to it. This news covers the last 5 hours in general. And first point is Trump. It is an honor to have the president of Ukraine with us. Meeting between U.S. and Ukraine began earlier at the White House. Next updates is Zelensky. We will use diplomatic means to end the war with Trump's support. President of the United States, we're going to make sure it's long term. We're not talking about a 2-year peace. Asked the second time about the possibility of sending U.S. troops to Ukraine, President of the United States says, we'll let you know that maybe later today. There will be a lot of help. We will be part of that. Trump, we will work with Russia and Ukraine to achieve a successful and sustainable peace. President Trump did not rule out involving U.S. troops in security guarantees for Ukraine. Said while Europe will be the first line of defense, we're going to help them out as well. We will be involved. President of the United States publicly rejects the principle that peace talks should begin with a ceasefire. If you look at the 6 deals where we made peace long-term, long-running wars, we didn't do any ceasefires. I like the concept of ceasefires because you stop killing people, but strategically that could be a disadvantage for one side or the other. Trump, we haven't even reached an agreement on security guarantees for Ukraine. Trump, Europe wants to protect Ukraine. We will help them out with that.
Here's a waiting in another room right now. They're all here from Europe, biggest people in Europe, and they want to give protection. They feel very strongly about it, and we'll help them out with that. I think it's very important. I think it's
all right. Is this the end of the road for American support for Ukraine? Is today's meeting deal or no deal? President Trump, I can never say that. It's never the end of the road. People are being killed and we want to stop that. So I would not say it's the end of the road. No, I think we have a good chance of doing it now. Trump, Russian President Putin is waiting for my call after these meetings. Meanwhile, there were 2 violent explosions in the region of Sloviansk, and that is located in this region right over here. Let's just move on here. Sorry about that, folks. There was a ballistic missile strike, which is right here is a picture, and then that is in that region right there. Now, meeting of Ukrainian President Zelensky and President Trump and the European leaders at the White House. Right? So here's a nice little picture of them together. Trump, Russia will accept security guarantees for Ukraine. Trump, European countries will bear the brunt of security guarantees for Ukraine. Trump, we will try to hold a trilateral meeting with Putin and Zelensky as soon as possible. Zelensky, I discussed several sensitive issues with Trump, including security guarantees. Zelensky, it is important for the United States to send a strong signal on security. Zelensky, territorial issues can be discussed at the trilateral meeting with Putin. Zelensky, we want to stop Russia and end this war. Zelensky, we seek security guarantees that will last for years. Zelensky, I briefed Trump on the situation on the ground on a map. Trump on land swaps. We also need to discuss the possible exchanges of territory taken into consideration. The current line of contact. The French president. Ceasefire must be reached in order for the tri-meeting to be held. Here's another video for you. I hope it comes up. It's Germany's MERS. I can't imagine that the next meeting would take place without a ceasefire. Here's video.
I can't imagine that the next meeting would take place without a ceasefire. So let's work on that.
So there's that update. In the White House, the push with real Donald Trump, that's his handle, sharply on obtaining a ceasefire during talks. Macron, sitting next to Trump, calls it a necessity. British Prime Minister, we can make significant progress towards a lasting solution in Ukraine. Zelensky, I showed President Trump a few nuances on the map. Thank you for this map. Sensitive issues such as territory exchanges should be discussed with Putin during a tri-meeting at the leaders level mediated by Trump. Italian Prime Minister expressed support for security guarantees similar to NATO's Article 5 for Ukraine. Starmer to Trump, your indication of security guarantees of some sort of Article 5 style guarantees fits what we've been doing with the coalition of the willing, bringing countries together and showing that we were prepared to step up to the plate. Meanwhile, in Ukraine, air defense was active in the Donetsk region. Here's a video. Unfortunately, this one doesn't seem to want to cooperate. Let's try it again. All right, so sorry about that. It's not quite working. Explosions was audible in the northern districts of Kharkiv. Explosion was reported in Sumy. Several Tu-95MS strategic bombers were airborne from the Olyana Air Base. And here's a little picture here. And unfortunately, we're not really getting the information here. So again, apologize for that. There's a fire that broke out, which was the picture I was showing a second ago. There was a bombardment that took place. Reuters, Trump cut short meeting with European leaders to call Russian President Putin. Russian aviation conducted airstrikes with glide bombs at Ruska Lazova of Kharkiv region, causing fire. And of course, the source, obviously, I've got to get this corrected. It's not quite right. So again, I apologize for that. I will improve in that area. Russian aviation conducted airstrikes with glide bombs, as already previously reported. The multilateral meeting between President Trump, Zelensky, and European leaders has concluded, and that was plus or minus an hour ago. And then, of course, there continues to be some explosions, fires, and bombardments within the Ukraine region. And, once I get some more information on that in a couple of hours, including other happenings as it breaks, and I try to break news as there's a little bit more meat on the bone, if you will, so that I can report something substantial to you, the viewer. And that's where we're at right now, and that's what's been happening to this point. So if you like this content and this content interests you, and it's something that you would like to receive in your notifications or your feed in the future, please support me by clicking that subscribe button. That allows me to continue to provide this content, and it inspires me to provide this content. You, the viewer, the one that's watching, your opinion, your thoughts, your comments are the ones that drive me. I can have the greatest idea in the world. I can have flaws or even execute it flawlessly. None of that really matters without you. And without your support, I'll never be successful. So if you like what I have to offer, or seemingly want to have faith in what maybe I can better offer in the future, please subscribe to my channel, provide that support, and provide the feedback in the comments below, as well as feel comfortable to leave any comments and thoughts on the information provided during this video. Again, thank you very much for watching Caffeine News. Bye-bye for now.